My name is Faith Locken and I'm a chartered surveyor. In my day-to-day role, I work in the city, specifically our city investment team, and I buy and sell development opportunities in the City of London. Well, as surveyors, we're involved in various processes in a property's life cycle. As an investment surveyor, I'm involved at the very beginning, so when we acquire or buy the property, and at the very end when we sell it. So on a day-to-day basis, I will be meeting with clients to understand their needs. I will market a property on behalf of a client, run inspections, and then see the process, the sale process through from selecting a preferred purchaser all the way through to actually selling the asset. I've had quite a varied background. I was born in Uganda, in East Africa. I came over here with my family when I was about 4 years old. My mother was a single parent and she single-handedly raised a bunch of us. I'm the last of 11 siblings. She just raised us to be confident and to value education and put education first. To be honest, as a child, you don't really see any challenges as such. You're just living your life as a child. And my mum did a great job in making sure that we never felt that we were poor, which essentially we were. She always did her best to make sure that we had things available to us. You know, she worked 2 jobs to ensure that we were having extracurricular activities. I'd say once I moved from my primary school, which was a state school, which was very diverse, I went to being the only black child in year 7 in the school that I went to. So I went from a very diverse school to an extremely non-diverse school. I gained a full scholarship to my local independent school, and I'd say there were some challenges in the beginning, particularly with some of the other kids who might not necessarily have interacted with people of my kind of socio-economic background. There were challenges when I'd go around to my friends' houses. When they'd invite me around for dinner, I'd be seeing, you know, they lived in huge houses and they were particularly well off, and I remember thinking, okay, this is the kind of life that I would like to aspire to. You know, how can I get to that? So I just, you know, put my head down and studied hard. I went to university, Nottingham University. I studied Spanish and Mandarin. I always knew that I wanted to get into property, so I did various internships, and then I applied for a graduate scheme, and I got into my current firm's graduate program, which lasted for about 2 years. At the same time, I was doing a part-time master's in real estate finance and investment, which I finished last summer, and then I sat my exam to become qualified as a surveyor. I passed, and here I am today. When I came into the working world in the corporate industry, once again I was the only black person in my cohort that were recruited, and I think if I hadn't gone to the school that I'd went to, I wouldn't have been used to that kind of environment. And I'm now seeing a lot of my colleagues and peers who are of black or Asian or minority ethnic backgrounds are kind of struggling because they haven't had that experience. When you're coming from a background or, you know, a history where you have been in a diverse school and, you know, you've only really known diversity in your friends and your family, when you enter the corporate industry, unfortunately, there is still a lack of diversity in many industries. So when you are the only one of your background within a group of people, it can be challenging. But I think it's about trying to understand and combat those challenges by working hard and making sure that you are seen to be of merit, and, you know, that your work speaks for you rather than, you know, your background, as it were. You will have colleagues who automatically stereotype you and have an unconscious bias, whether they want to admit it or not. So it's all about kind of recognizing that that will exist and just continuing to push through, just working diligently and making sure you earn that respect from your colleagues. As cliche as it might sound, definitely my mother. Just from the way she worked extremely hard, you know, from nothing. She never even completed any kind of qualification. She left school age 13 to start working in order to put her brothers and sisters through school back in Uganda. And then, you know, when the war was going on, she thought, you know, we need to get out of here. I need to take myself and my kids and we need to move. And she came over here, we literally had nothing. She was working as a cleaner and then she started working as a foster carer. So we never had a lot, but she was always very much about education, education, education. And she did all that she could to make sure that we were having all of the extracurricular activities that kids need to grow and to expand their knowledge. You know, we were never hindered by socioeconomic status at all. Her hard work, you know, I try to emulate that in everything that I do. I would advise a young black female, because that's the perspective that I can speak from, or to be honest, anyone of a diverse background, put yourself in uncomfortable situations. You know, join a club where you aren't, you know, surrounded by people who look like you. It will be awkward, but getting comfortable in the uncomfortable is what you're going to need to thrive in the corporate world, if that's what you want to go into.